Nigeria is the world's leading diamond producer by value, and Botswana's diamond mining industry has played a crucial role in the nation's economic development and global standing. Diamonds account for over 70% of the country's export earnings and 25% of its GDP. I sat down with Honorable Boholo Joy Kenewendo, Botswana's Minister of Minerals and Energy, to tell us more. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for your time. I want to start by looking at some policy issues regarding your diamond industry. What are the key policy issues governing Botswana's diamond industry?
I think before we talk about the key policies and regulations that are governing the Botswana diamond industry, let's talk about the principles that have guided Botswana's mining and diamond industry generally. Since the day that we heard that we had diamonds, the principle has been, let's make these mineral resources work best for Botswana. You might recall that at independence, it's argued when we asked for independence, we had 12 pounds or 24 pounds. But the bottom line is we were one of the poorest countries in the world. And so when we struck diamond, the principle was, this is our chance to break free from poverty, and how do we make that work? And that is what led to the development of the regulations and the legislation that I'll talk about, primarily the Mines and Minerals Acts that govern the exploration, prospecting, exploration, all the way to mining, and what we have as a diamond polishing and cutting act that deals with the downstream side of the diamond market. And we also, in the middle here, have the minerals strategy and minerals policy that just really guide how we deal with beneficiation in the country. Again, it's about how we derive maximum good from these minerals, and we reinvest them into the people.
So let's go back slightly to the principles governing your diamond industry. How exactly has that made a contribution to the socio-economic livelihood of the people?
Well, I like to use myself as an example. I like to call myself a diamond baby because I was born in a government hospital. It is a true testament of where the diamond revenues were invested. And that I went to a government primary school, to a government secondary, and I eventually went to university through government bursary and scholarship. And we know that diamonds contribute well over 30%. Now it's 30% of government revenues. Back then, contributed at some instances 70% of government revenues. So they were very crucial and critical in the way that government was able to run its affairs, but most importantly in how it invested in social welfare and social development. And that is what the provenance of the diamond story of Botswana is about.
What do you see as one of the biggest challenges when it comes to regulation?
Well, there are many challenges in regulation. We have to take into consideration, in our part, the way we want to relate to the planet, to the earth. And so we have to regulate for the environment, and therefore we have what we call environmental impact assessments. And we need to make sure that mines are rehabilitating as they mine. And then secondly is really ensuring that in line with the consumer's needs, we are pushing the mines towards net zero. And then lastly, the quality of production is not only about the quality of the good itself, but the quality of the ecosystem that they create, which is why we've started talking about value chain development, anchoring these mines with the supplier development program to really ensure that it's this feed in and feed out process.
At what stage is Botswana right now when we talk about value addition?
Well, value addition quite high. I think if I pick only in the diamond industry, we started discussing beneficiation, yes, with our first DBS negotiations, late 70s, early 80s. And in the 80s, we had about 8 processing manufacturing plants here, and now we're sitting at about 56. So there's been a bit of growth, but as you know, there has been an downward trend in the diamond sector at the moment. So we've had a few of them close, relocate, suspend, in line with the shock in the diamond industry. But we are hopeful that we'll start to see more in the downstream happening. So we are able to now even do our marketing for our diamonds with the Okavango Diamond Company. We have these diamond cutting and polishing companies, and we want to attract more in the jewelry space to ensure that in the entire value chain, we are able to extract value, as I said in the beginning.
In terms of quality, there's a bit of a challenge here as a result of the preference by some people to synthetic diamonds. Is that impacting you at all?
Well, yes. Lab-grown diamonds have been quite impactful into the natural diamond market. But if you say quality, there's no doubt that a natural diamond is much better than a lab-grown diamond. First of all, as someone said at the facet meeting, a lab-grown diamond belongs at the bottom of a drill, not on top of an engagement ring, not on my ear. What belongs on your ear is a precious stone, as a natural diamond that you understand its story. We do have the best quality. Johnny Mine is the #1 diamond mine in the world by quality, and Orapa Mine is the #1 diamond mine in the world by quantity. So we are able to offer both. Because while it may be luxury to you, while it may be luxury on my ear, it's actually real life to me and to the many Botswana that it has impacted. As I told you, I am a diamond baby. I don't only wear them, but I live them.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.
But where does it all begin? Just how do diamonds find their way from the depths of the earth to become sparkling pieces of jewelry? In the next step of our journey, we are joined by Gotisoni Gadifele, the General Manager of the Botswana Jwaneng mine, to unveil this fascinating path that a diamond takes from the bowels of the earth to the high-end gem stores. Mr. Gadifele, thank you very much for your time. Can you first start by giving us a history of the mine, how it started, how it has evolved, what it's about?
Jwaneng Mine started in 1982. It has been in operation for about 42 years now. It was first opened by the second president of our beautiful Republic of Botswana. So basically it's a conventional open pit mining, which runs with trucks and shovels. But we have since now started underground mining. We are on a transition stage. After 2030, then we'll be fully running a complete underground mine to run until 2050.
What about the supply? You know, what role does it play in the global diamond supply? How much do you get from here?
We produce about up to 13 million carats per annum. Within Botswana, as a company, Jwaneng Mine contributes about 70% revenue of Botswana. We are owned by the government of Botswana and the DBS. This mine is deemed to be one of the biggest diamond mine in the world by value.
Tell me a little bit about that. When you say one of the biggest mines by value, what does that mean exactly?
What that means is that we produce high quality diamonds, and our kimberlite pipes, they are rich, up to over 300 carats per 100 tons. So
normally diamonds, especially Botswana's diamonds, tend to be very expensive, tend to be very precious. Why is that?
A diamond, by how it's formed, is a special stone. For Botswana, is something that we pride ourselves with because the diamonds of Botswana, they are impactful to the lives of Botswana. So each and every single Botswana has got a relationship with the diamond because the schools that we went to, the hospital facilities, the road infrastructure, all this development of Botswana was due to the diamonds production.
All right. So in terms of the process of getting the diamond, take us through the process here, like from being unearthed to being ready for the market. What does that process look like?
Yeah. Firstly, you discover the kimberlite pipes, which is the rock that contains the diamonds, and then you come up with a mining method. In this case, in Johnny Mine, we use the open pit, like I said. What happens is that we have got your 4 fundamental basic unit operations, which is your drilling, blasting, loading, and hauling. So drilling, blasting, loading, and hauling happens in the pit. And then we move 2 types of material, which is the kimberlite pipes, the kimberlite material, and also the waste rock material. The waste rock, we take it with the trucks to the waste dumps, and then the kimberlite, we take it to the stockpile, and the rest, and the other material goes to the plant. At the crusher, we tip the material at the crusher, and then it goes through the treatment plants, whereby we separate it through the dense medium separation, and then the material goes through the red area plant, whereby we finally recover the diamonds.
How much longer are the diamonds going to be? I mean, how much longer will the sustainability be? How much longer are we looking at Botswana's mines in the ground?
I think Botswana is a rich country in terms of minerals. So I'm looking at, we might be probably mining this mineral for the next 50 to 100 years. And I do believe that, and we also as Botswana, as we do mine, we believe that at some point the minerals will be finished. And we have plans in place in order to diversify our economy. And as Botswana, we have ordinarily always been a beef country. And as the mine, we also try by all means to support the local farmers in order to prepare for the next economic driver of Botswana.
So you're talking about the impact that the diamond has had on the people of Botswana. In terms of Botswana, your mine here, how do you give back?
We do have got a number of CSI projects. Number one thing is the hospital, because we do run a referral hospital. And all the surrounding villages around this town, they refer all their patients to our hospital. And we also have provided water to a number of villages around the zone of influence. And even we have enhanced the education facilities. And we also contribute into infrastructure like roads, into accessing the villages that are around our mine.
Mm-hmm. So what is the long-term plan, though, for your mine?
The long-term plan is that this mine will run, looking at the information that we do have now, it will run beyond 2050. And we currently we're running a sustainable plan in parallel, because this is a mine town. We do want this town not to become a ghost after we have finished mining the diamonds. So therefore, we would like to see this town as a tourist attraction area, because we do have got the park with a number of wild animals. And we also busy trying to build it into a sporting hub. We are sponsoring a number of sporting codes. For example, football. We do have a team that is called Johnny Galaxy, which is sponsored by the mine. They are currently the defending champion on the Botswana Premier League.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are going to take a short break now, and when we come back, we will take a look at how the diamond industry gives back to the local community. Stay with us. what does it really take to unearth these precious gems? Today we are diving into the depths to meet one of the people who spends their days unearthing these precious stones. Joining us now is Setsa Parithi, the mining manager at Botswana Jwaneng mine. So Setsa, tell me what's going on here. What's happening?
Okay, this is one of the properties where the Botswana diamonds are coming from. So this is a 42-year-old pit. From where we are all the way across, it's 2.4 kilometers long, and then 1.8 kilometers from the east to the southern side, to the western side, which is where we are. And then it's half a kilometer deep. And at every single time, you see these nice little flitches. Yeah. They're 16 meters, each one of them. And at any given time per year, we take about 4 slices of this. That is our advance rate, about 68 meters. Mm-hmm. Now, we produce about 13 million carats every year into the market. And that 13 million carats comes from over 100 million tons of both ore and waste. Remember ore, we're talking about any confirmed material that is of economic value. And in this sense, we are talking about 14 to 15 million tons of ore that we are taking from the ground. That comes in per year. And per day, we're looking at around 240,000 tons. Now, for every diamond bearing material, we take it for processing, which is where you're seeing that yellow beam over there, and it follows the stream that we'll talk about later. Yeah. But anything that has got no diamonds is what has built these mountains that you are seeing on the left. Uh-huh. This is where we throw anything that has been confirmed to not be having diamonds.
Uh-huh. From this mine, you remove 240,000 tons. Out of that, how much is it? How many or how much diamonds do you get out of that?
Okay, so in the 28,000 tons is ore, okay? And in the diamond concentration in that ore, we're looking at an average grade of over 100, between 100 and 140 carats per 100 tons, which talks to about 1.4 carats per ton. However, even if we are just this one property, within this one property, we have about 3 kimberlite pipes that have got 3 different concentrations. So on daily basis, we produce a nice mix because the diamonds are different. Some are colored, some are bigger, some are smaller. So we always make sure that we mine a good mix that will satisfy a customer.
How much deeper are you going to go?
So at the moment, with the latest pushback, we are expecting to go close to 1 kilometer deep. However, beyond this kilometer, there is still a massive resource, which is the one that we are going to access through underground. And at the moment, we are looking at a reserve of up to 2052. However, that doesn't mean that beyond 2052 there won't be diamonds. Right. They will still be there. It's only that with the current technology, with the current skills, that's how far that's how far we can see.
What about the employee safety? What measures are there?
Okay, so at any given time, we have over 80 men and women that are running here. This operation runs 24 hours a day, and we have people rotating, okay? Now, in this mix, we have a good proportion of women as well as men. We've got, equal opportunities for both sexes, okay? So our process of ensuring that the operator is safe starts from fatigue management. Remember, somebody is driving 8 hours or 12 hours non-stop. That naturally brings a lot of fatigue on the body. So we make sure that where we house them is of high standard to make sure that they get good rest. We've got meals, we provide meals. And most importantly, we've got a lot of technology that assists in protecting the operator. For example, we've got a fatigue monitoring system, which when an operator feels drowsy, the system automatically picks from the movement of the eyelids to say operator so-and-so is drowsy. And immediately, wherever they stop the machine, they get taken out of that machine for rehabilitation purposes. And rehabilitation in this sense, we're talking rest. And then another operator comes in to continue the work.
Okay, and what about, because you've mentioned that on this side is what you have dumped,
Yes.
so to speak, but you haven't wasted any of the materials that's come out of here. What about the environmental impact?
This material, I use the word dump, but we have, kept it because we know that we owe the environment to return it to the almost, safe state compared to when we found it. So at the moment, we can't say we're going to backfill this big hole. No, instead, we are putting it in a way that, the vegetation, the animals that are in this park, they can nicely move from the park and into these waste dumps. We're just, matching this mining with the environment. Okay. So what we are currently doing, we are reshaping the landscape. See, when you look at them, do you see that? You see the steps? Yeah. They look like the pit. So this was just meant to improve the aesthetic look. And we're also revegetating so that whatever the vegetation that they are used to in the park, it seems like one environment. Yes. So we are very cognizant of the impact that we have. And secondly, remember that we are in the desert and water is one of the scarce resources. So at the moment, we have a strong regime where we are harvesting storm water as much as possible. Yeah. We have very little rainfall, about less than 300 millimeters per year. So whenever it happens, see at the pit, yeah. If you bring your eyes, there's a well, like a dam. Yes. Do you see it? Yeah. That is, so it's a sump. It's solely meant to collect as much of rainfall water as possible. Uh-huh. And this is the water that throughout the year, we use it for processing purposes. At the same time, this is mining. We generate a lot of dust. When you look at our roads, do you see more like the darker spots, lighter spots? We have sprayed water to make sure that there's no dust, in protection of the environment, in protection of our people. Yes.
All right, Setsa Paritsi, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ms. Beatrice.
Now, thanks to the wealth generated by its diamonds, Botswana has made remarkable strides in healthcare, education, and development. The country has transformed diamond wealth into opportunities for its people. Joining us is Dr. Bobby Sakadimo, who will share how the industry is changing lives. Dr. Sakadimo, thank you very much for your time. Tell me about the Jwaneng Mining Hospital. How old is it?
Yeah, Jwaneng Mine Hospital was established in 1982. That is the time when the operation of Jwaneng Mine started. And this hospital was established primarily to take care at the time of employees that were on site establishing this mine, and also to take care of the communities in existence at the time of establishment of this mine.
So who's funding the hospital?
Yeah. This hospital is 100% funded by Botswana, a partnership between the government of Botswana and DBS.
So tell me about who exactly it serves, because you say it started by serving the families of the miners. Who is it serving now?
Yeah. At this point in time, yes, it's serving the mine employees and their family members. It's serving the business partners that work for the mine, but most importantly, it's serving the communities around here up to a radius of about 200 kilometers. It's established next to a major highway that goes to Namibia. It's called the Trans-Kalahari Highway, and it also takes care of all emergencies that do happen in the highway.
Are there any other such projects handled by the mining itself?
Yes, the Botswana is big in terms of supporting the communities in which we operate. We also operate a school called Acacia Primary School. That's a primary school and a preschool that is also being run by the mine to try and improve the education levels of the communities in which we operate, and also to attract employees from all over the world to come and work for us here.
And so when we talk about this hospital, what sort of services does it offer? Is it a private service? Is it a public service? Are there finances involved for the community?
Okay. This hospital, yes, is a private hospital in the sense that it's owned by Botswana and not government. But there was need in the community that we were established in And therefore, there is a standing agreement between the Republic of Botswana, the government, and Botswana to provide services to the communities, to anybody who comes requiring assistance, healthcare assistance. Yes, the private clients do pay through their medical aids, but that does not mean if you are not having medical aid, you don't get the services. The public will access the service and get the services for free from our facility.
So, Dr. Segadimo, what other services does your hospital offer?
We offer a very wide range of services. Yes, we're at the lab. We offer dental services. There is a pharmacy. There is a rehabilitation section. There is occupational health. We do wellness as well, where we have a clinical psychologist. In this age, there's a concern around non-communicable diseases, and therefore we are very big in terms of wellness. So there's radiology as well. X-ray services are being offered at this hospital, and of course nursing services and medical officer services.
So this hospital has been in operation for as long as the mine has been here, around 42 years. Yeah. But prior to that, who was offering services to the community? Were there hospital services here?
Yeah. Prior to that, this place was bush. It was mainly cattle posts, but there was no developed town or any services whatsoever here. So the mine was the first, the mine facility was the first one to offer such services.
Dr. Segadimo, thank you very much.
Thank you, Beatrice.
As we wrap up our journey, we've seen how these gems have uplifted livelihoods, influenced policy, and powered economic growth. Diamonds have lit up life in Botswana for decades and will continue to do so for a long time to come. And that's all we have time for on this edition of Talk Africa. We'd like to say a very big thank you to all our guests for their fascinating insights into Botswana's diamond industry. From me, Beatrice Marshall, in Johannesburg, Botswana. Until next time, it's bye-bye.